Professor Kiarie Mwaura. Please come do a brief illustration on what the county has been doing, though this is not the core area of our focus today. Ours more is on investment. Karibu.
Thank you, Your Excellency, the Governor of Murang'a County. All protocols observed. My name is Professor Kiarie Mwaura, the CCM Finance and Economic Planning of Murang'a County Government. Today is a great day for Murang'a County, and it's also a great day for the investors, whether from Murang'a or from outside. As we guide investors for the next 2 days, as we guide you on where and how to invest in Murang'a, I want to spend just a few minutes to tell you what we have done in the last 3 years to make Murang'a ready for investment. As you know, sustainable investment does not happen in a vacuum. There are key drivers to investment, and when those drivers of investment are missing, the investment, however big you might make, you find it doesn't succeed. So one of the key investment drivers is human capital. And if you look at the screen that you have, the graph that you have on the screen, you see the important role the human capital plays in driving investment. Human capital, by human capital we mean the economic value of the knowledge, the skills and experiences that each person has, the economic value of that. If that is missing, or if that is affected negatively, you find that investment does not grow, development does not come in. So what are the key components of this human capital? The reason why I'm giving this is to this background is just to show you that this human capital, being so important as a driver of investment and the economy, it has been the driving force behind what we have been doing to transform Murang'a in the last 3 years. So if you break down the human capital, you'll see that there's an element of education, the skills that a person has. There's also the element of health. You might be very skilled, but if you are not healthy, you find that you are not productive. There's also the element of entrepreneurship. It is entrepreneurship combined with the human skill that creates innovation. If that is missing, you find that the innovation will not happen. And therefore, there will be no growth in terms of investment and development. There is also the other element, as the governor has said, the role of government, and also the inequality. You find that as a government, if we don't address inequality, then you find that the people who are disadvantaged are not able to contribute effectively to the growth of the economy. That's when you look at our education system, as I'm going to say later on, sometimes we do focus a lot on the day schools. And the reason for this is because those people who are attending day schools are more disadvantaged than the people who are going to boarding schools. So in essence, when we focus on them, we try to bring about equality between the people. So very, very quickly, this has been the driving force. And I remember every time we go to the county assembly to present our budget, the chair of finance of the county assembly is always very keen to ask us, what is the logic behind your budget? And the logic behind our budget for the last 3 years has been the growth of the human capital. Starting with the first one, I'll just show you just a few interventions, some interventionist approach that we have put in place to make sure that the economy of Murang'a is growing and that the people of Murang'a are ready for investment. Because if the people are not ready, then however much you pump in terms of investment, that investment will not grow. So the first element is health. We just go to health. The next slide. We have health. The key flagship project on health that we have is the Kang'ata Care Program. This Kang'ata Care Program is a very targeted insurance scheme for the vulnerable in society. So far, we have identified 40,000 households who get a medical card, insurance card, which is completely free of charge. And if you consider that one household has 4 people, 40,000 times 4, we have covered 160 persons in Mwaura. Comparing that with the population of the county, we have a population of 1 million people, so we have covered 160. So that is about 16% of the entire population of Mwaura has got this free insurance cover. And so as we continue increasing the allocation in our budget, we are going to see that very soon we are going to be able to cover 50% of the entire population of Mwaura, and probably in future we can be able to raise that to 100%. So the key benefits we also get outpatient care in contracted health facilities. It also comes with free optical and dental care in government and private facilities. And in addition to that, if a person in that household dies, the family is able to get 100,000 as last expense benefit, so that the roles that are being played by the person who has passed on, the family can be able to cover with that. So we are doing this to make sure, as I say, that our people are healthy. If they are not healthy, even if we bring industries to Mwaura, there will be no people to work in those industries. So that's why the focus on health is very critical to us, to make sure that Mwaura is investor ready. As you come, our people are healthy and we'll be able to work in those factories. In addition to providing the Kang'ata Care Card, we have also continued to improve the infrastructure of our hospitals. We have new health facilities which are geared towards easing the pressure that we have on the Mwaura Level 5 hospital, which at the moment takes care of 1,500 patients in a day. So we have built hospitals in different places, including Nyakyanga, in Mathioya, Kagema, Maragwa, Muranga, Kandara, Level 4, Kirwara, Level 4, Kenneth Matiba, Level 5, and Kenneth Matiba is going to be located in the Makeji area. For those people who are going to visit there tomorrow, you'll see it as you enter the EPZ and the SEZ zones. In addition to the infrastructure of the hospital, focusing on the brick and mortar, we have also moved to the digital space, and we have introduced telemedicine, which allows our patients, our residents, wherever they are, whichever corner of Mwaura they are in, they don't have to travel. They don't have to spend a lot of money on bus transport to access a top medical doctor in Mwaura town. They can access that doctor within the confines of their village through a screen. So we have those telemedicine facilities in all the sub-counties that we have in Mwaura County. So it allows for that very close interaction with the doctor, and the doctor is able to provide prescription. Once they provide prescription on the screen, we make sure that our health facilities in the villages are stocked with sufficient medicine for any patient. And this is becoming one of our greatest innovations in health, because people are feeling they are able to save. Because we could see in the past, a person could actually fail to go to a hospital and probably sometimes even die because they cannot afford 200 shillings, 100 shillings for bus fare to go to Thika or to go to Mwaura, to go to Keno. So this has really helped. So the telemedicine facilities are in every sub-county. Idhanga is there, Gatanga is there, Kadara is there, Kegumo is there, and Kiharu, Kahuro, Kangema, Mathioya, each and every corner of the county, they have that telemedicine facilities. As you've said, we have also continued, apart from building the level 5 and the level 4 hospitals, even the health centers, we are also building them. We have done one in Ihigaine, in Bare Ahiti, in Doita, in Gatito, Kandara, in Karurumo, Kangema, in Gakoyo, Kegumo constituency. As I said in the beginning, the other program that we have, apart from health, is a smart city program. As we invite investors to come to Murang'a County, we are telling them, once you produce your goods, we need to have ready and efficient and working towns or city centers where those goods can be sold. And therefore, as you can see there in the picture, we are targeting rehabilitation of our town centers. You can see the road there, the way it was looking in one of the town centers before and the way it is today. So we have completed these smart city programs to make our towns efficient and ready for business in Maragua constituency, Gatora in Gatanga, Kabati in Kandara, Kangare in Kegumo, Murang'a Town, Keharu, Kangema in Kagema constituency, Kireaine in Madhioya, Kahatia in Keharu, Kaguku in Gatanga constituency. And also Gasharage in Kandara, Kanyanyaine in Kangema, Zabka in Keno, Kamune in Madhioya, Kablos also happening in Murang'a Town. Apart from now making our towns more efficient and working and friendly to investors, we have also made targeted interventions in the area of agriculture. As we said, for investment to grow, entrepreneurship needs to be encouraged. And that's why we have really targeted on agribusiness. So because we asked ourselves, what is it that we can do to empower our farmers to actually boost their business, their agribusiness, so that they can benefit, they can afford school fees, they can afford hospital bills where they are not covered, they can afford a good standard of living. So we have done targeted intervention in agriculture through this program that we call the Inua Mkulima Subsidy Program, which initially it is targeting milk and mango farmers, and we target farmers who are in cooperative societies. The farmers are issued with Inua Mkulima smart card, which is loaded with 2,400 shillings every 3 months. So you get a smart card, and that smart card is loaded with that money without fail every 3 months. And what we have done, we have made sure that we have a fund. We thank the County Assembly for passing that registration. We have a fund. When we requisition money from the National Treasury, we are able to keep that money in that fund to make sure that our farmers don't suffer. Even if the year closes by June, the money in the account remains in the account for the benefit of the farmers. So once a farmer has this card with 2,400, they can also use this card to buy different items in agrovets that we have registered with us. And the agrovets, they can sell to them seedlings, animal feeds, mineral salts, for example. They can also buy foodstuffs like rice, maize, wheat flour, cooking fat. And sometimes they might opt to even pay school fees using that card for their secondary school education, as well as payment of hospital fees. To empower our farmers effectively also, we have encouraged investors like yourself who are coming to invest in Murang'a to enter into contract farming with our farmers, where you provide seedlings, the farmers grow the seedlings, and they get a very ready market for the produce. We have done that with East African breweries, where we do contract farming for sorghum. Initially, we distributed seedlings, sorghum seedlings, to 2,000 farmers. And once they grow, East African breweries is able to buy sorghum at 48 Kenya shillings per kilo. And we are saying, because this has been very successful in sorghum with East African breweries, there's no reason why these cannot be replicated in other value chains, including simsim, including wheat, including cotton, where it can grow in Murang'a. This can be replicated in all the other value chains, the contract farming, because it's very beneficial to the farmer, because the farmer gets an assured guarantee of the price and also the market. So the farmers' take-up is very good. Also on agriculture, we have introduced the maize and fertilizer distribution program, where we first registered 57,000 farmers, and we gave them free maize and fertilizer, which is sourced from trusted sources, Simlo seeds, and also Kalo. Each farmer gets 2 kilos of maize seeds, 8 kilos of planting fertilizer, and 8 kilos of top dressing fertilizer. So, and once they grow that maize, which is doing very well now with the rains that we are having, we have also entered into contract agreement with Joy Millers, the millers of Kavagara wheat flour, where they buy every sack of maize, they buy from our farmers at 3,500 shillings per sack. So farmers, when they are growing this maize, they are sure that that market is there, and they are sure of the price. The other intervention that we have made to make Murang'a ready for investors and to boost our human capital in Murang'a is intervention in the area of education, especially in the early childhood development education, the ECD. As you know, scientists tell us that 90% of a human brain is formed between the age of 0 and 5. So if you don't make the right intervention when the child is young, you disadvantage that child, and you negatively contribute to the development of the human capital in the county. So we have that very targeted program where kids in all the ECD centers, we give them uji, porridge, every day. Every day they get uji, and that uji that they get is uji that is fortified with vitamin A, so that it can boost the development of the brain of the child. So it is working very well. 42,000 kids in our 700 ECD centers are benefiting from that. And we are doing this because we know once we invest in those children and their human capacity becomes great, these are the people who are going to support the industries that are coming to Murang'a County. These are the people who are going to be drivers of the economy when you and me are long gone. We also have, apart from the feeding program in nursery schools, targeted bursary schemes for our children in high school. We have the Nyota Zetu program, and the others that are on the other screen. But yeah, we have the award bursaries, we have the best people bursaries. We also recognize people with disabilities. We support them with bursaries. University bursaries also we offer to the students who are entering university for the first time. And the critical one and the very popular one is the Inua Masomo program, where we target, as I said in the beginning, to address the inequality that is there between the kids who are able to go to boarding schools, they are able to sleep in dormitories, they are able to avoid working in the farms when they are studying, as opposed to the kids who are in day schools, who are really disadvantaged. So to address that inequality, we came up with this Inua Masomo program, which focuses on kids who are going to day schools. And the way it works is that every person from Form 2, Form 3, and Form 4, every child or every student who is able to make it between number 1 and number 10, they get their fees paid fully by the county government of Murang'a. And the beauty of this program is that there's no corruption, because there's no one who can interfere with that listing between number 1 and 10. And so it also creates a lot of competition, because if a child knows, if I become between number 1 and number 10, all my fees is going to be paid for that term, the competition that we are seeing in the schools is very immense, because no one wants to be dislodged from that position of 1 to 10. And the one who miss it, they are always yearning to get to that 1 and 10 position. So it creates a lot of very healthy competition in schools, which in essence or in turn improves our educational standards. That's a Inua Mkulima program. The other innovation that we have done to make all these programs run well is because every time we are making a budget, every year we are making a budget, we always find that the budget we get from the National Treasury is not sufficient to take care of all these programs. And therefore, we have really targeted on enhancing our own source revenue to make sure that we get enough money to be able to support all these programs that I've talked about. And you find that by the time we took over government 3 years ago, the highest revenue that the previous administration had raised was actually 520 million per year. Within 2 years, we were able to raise that from 520 to 1.1 billion. And this has been very useful in helping us to support all those programs that are making Murang'a ready for investors like yourself. And the strategies that have really helped us in boosting our revenue collection is, of course, one is automation. I'll just give you one example. In one of our key hospitals, Murang'a Level 5 Hospital, once we took over government, they were collecting 70,000 a day. Today, through automation, they are now collecting 400,000 a day, from 70 to 400,000 a day. So we are making sure that that automation is really working, and apart from automation, we are also monitoring very closely. Anytime we see a dip in revenue from one unit, we are able to follow up and ask questions. Last month, you were able to collect so much. Last month, you were able to collect so much. This month, it has gone down. What has happened? So we're able to follow up and know. Because as you know, for those in business, once you fail to monitor, you can find yourselves in very, very big problems. For those who are born around 1995, you remember the case of the Baringo Bank of the UK, which employed a very young CEO by the name Nick Leeson. Nick Leeson became the head of Baringo Bank in Singapore. And when Baringo Bank failed to install sufficient internal controls within the bank, Nick Leeson was able to get away with a lot of fraudulent, unethical trading in Singapore that ended up collapsing the entire bank. He ended up serving 4 years prison sentence in Singapore, and the entire bank collapsed because of the failure of having sufficient internal controls. So the same thing with our revenue system. We are saying if we don't monitor and look at what was happening last month and the previous 6 months, then we can find ourselves in a lot of problems, and all the projects and the programs that are supporting innovation within the county and transformation, they can actually fail because of lack of that monitoring. So that has been very helpful. Moving on to a different intervention that we are making is intervention on Murang'a Youth Service. We know our youth are our future. The youth are very critical in helping us to grow the economy. So we have a program. Once we came into government, we realized that there were so many people, young people who are unemployed, and we could not absorb all of them into the county government. They kept asking us, how can I get a job in the county? So we could not absorb everyone. So what we did, we came up with a program, an innovative program that engages the youth, the young people, and also empowers them to get skills so that they can be able to use those skills in business or get employment elsewhere. So every 3 months, we employ 1,050 young people that we recruit in every ward. Every ward gives us 30 young people. We have 35 wards. So 30 times 35, we get 1,050 every 3 months. And what we do, once we recruit them, and we recruit them through a very fair process. Again, to avoid corruption, they do balloting. Every ward, we just mark 30 papers, yes, 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 and the others no. So whoever is lucky and whoever picks a yes becomes recruited automatically into the program. So there's no chance of anyone, even myself, I cannot influence anyone to get into that program in my ward. So no one can do that. So it's a very fair and efficient system. So once they get in, for 2 months, they help to clean our towns. They help our towns clean for 2 months. And during those 2 months, they get paid 400 shillings a day, with 300 shillings going to the student, young person, and 100 going to the parent. And the reason why it goes to the parent is to make sure that a parent is also a very key stakeholder in this journey of the child, including being able to wake up that young man or that young girl to go to work in the morning. So they also feel part of that program by getting that 100 shillings a day when the young person is getting 300 shillings. So it's working very well. And then after the 2 months, 1 month, the last 1 month, we take them to the village polytechnic, where they get skills, including they learn plumbing, they learn tiling, they learn about electricity and all those kind of skills, dressmaking, bakery. And after they finish, we do a graduation for them. And once they graduate, we give them 15,000 shillings per graduate to be able to start a business. So that's how we empower the people. And we are lucky and happy to say some of our partners, including Kakuzi, have actually promised, and Del Monte have promised to actually be recruiting some workers of their factories from graduates of this program. So we hope that as we create more partnerships, we shall be able to create more opportunities for the young people who are graduating from this program. In addition to that, we have interventions. We are doing a lot of solarization in our county projects, including our hospitals. Our boreholes are solarized. And the reason why we are doing solarization is because we realized that we are paying a lot of money to Kenya Power and Lighting. In 1 month, sometimes we find ourselves paying, or let's say 1 year, we find ourselves paying 70 million per year to Kenya Power. So to be able to reduce that bill, that's why we are doing solarization, so that the bill can come down. And that money, instead of going to Kenya Power, it can actually go to the projects that we've talked about, including health, youth, agriculture, and the other programs that we have. The boreholes, we have finished boreholes in different areas, in Yakarego Primary, Getugi, Kangema, Mugoro Ward, Mudhidhi, Medine, in Mukoyo, Bogoine, Kahumbu, Nanga, in Mitubiri, Kangure, in Gaturi, Dhogororo, in Kemorori Ward. So those are the completed ones. Mutito Primary School, Mehango, Kagodoine, in Kagodoine Ward, Kitoni. Yeah. Finally, the last one is the intervention that we are making to make sure that as we support our farmers to be savvy in agribusiness, we are also saying we recognize, or we are cognizant of the fact that they need modern structures where they can do their trade. So we have constructed markets in different places, like Kabiti in Maragua, Ishishi in Kangema, Kehoya, Kangema, Karure, Kegumo, Kandara, in Kandara constituency, Getuge, Kehubuine market, we have done Kabros, Mununga in Kegumo, Kamune in Madhioya. So I think with that, you get a snapshot of the intervention that we have made to make sure that as you come to invest in Murang'a, our people and our localities and our towns and our thinking is ready for you as investors. So with those few remarks, Governor, I think I will stop there. I'll just make an announcement. Kindly request the owners of the following vehicles to move them to facilitate the arrival of the President, the Chief Guest. Vehicle number KDA 596V, Mercedes-Benz, KDA 596V, KDA 246V, Toyota double cab, KDS 111U, Toyota, KD 1515, Nissan, GKB 445M, Prado, KCC 235K, Fielder. Asanteni sana for listening.
Yeah, allow me to explain why Professor is giving examples about UK. He was a university lecturer at UK. And we are very happy he came back to Kenya. He studied at Njiri's High School, which is one of the most decorated secondary school here in Kigumo. He went to do law, University of Nairobi. He did masters in UK. He did a PhD in UK. He became a professor in UK. He was a visiting professor of Harvard, but he came back to Kenya and he decided to become a CEC of finance in Murang'a County.